Alright, it is January the 13th, Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Gonna check out a couple spots. I came to swap out my cards. I got a trail cam out here, and then of course my recorder. So I was going to swap out the cards, see what all I picked up. And I thought I would check out this one area I'd never really looked at. If you watch some of my videos, especially the one that said of things that I found here, I've mentioned, and I show a picture of the bunny bush, as I call it. Looked like a rabbit. I've never really gone back in that area. I mean, I've just walked by there and looked at it, but I'm trying to go back there and look around a little today. I don't know if I'll find anything, but it's just an area I've never really explored that much because I can see it as I walk by. I come down here and look for prints every now and then. There's a little pond right here. Sometimes it dries up completely in the summer. But sometimes I'll walk over here. I've never found anything, but I do like to just take a quick look sometimes. I know cattails can be a source of food, but I don't know about this time of year. I think there's probably not much to them now. See, something's been walking through here. I'd say it's probably deer. Hard to say. I can see where something stepped out in here, but let me see. Aim this down a little more. You can see where something just stepped out right here, but it might be deer. Might be just getting a drink. Alright, well, like I said, let me show this too. There's definitely something been walking around back in here, but can't really make out anything in specific. It's not like I can find any prints right here, but Wally. Let Wally smell for a minute, see if he notices anything. Yeah, it don't seem like he's picking up anything in particular. Alright, let's go check out this other area. Yeah, there's a video I did called Things I Found at My Usual Spot, where I show this. There's a picture of the what I call the bunny bush in that video. Well, it looks like it might be a little swampy back there. Oh, it is. Well, we'll go back and look for prints. Like I said, I've never really looked back in here. I always thought it was interesting that there's like a double arch, as I call it, right there. Wait a minute. Right there. See these two trees kind of laying over top of each other, with one leaning there in the middle. Anyway, go back here and look. I guess this, oh, there's some deer been back here. Hey, don't be rolling in that. You want another bath? Looks like a buck has been here too, along with some deer. Definitely a lot of deer back here. More deer droppings. I think that this is private property once I get over to that field. I'm not sure where it starts. I know there's a sign a little farther over that way that says it's private. I don't see any trail cams. I have, wait, that might be one over there. I have seen some over in this area. I think somebody hunts it. Nope, that's not one. Not any hunting allowed in this land that's owned by the reservoir, but deer trail right here where they cut through, looks like. Yeah, I don't see anything too unusual over here, except for another one of those sticks, like I keep saying I'm finding. Here's one right here. Wait a minute. Right there. Horizontal stick. Just laying there in the tree. Take a picture of that. Get where I can see it good on camera. I don't know. To me, it just seems strange because I find them so much, and they're always level. And that one looked more like a whole branch, but I see them a lot of times where it's just a stick, not a whole branch, but just a small stick that's broke on both ends and it's just laying there perfectly level. Let's see, I see, I thought that was one. I see them all the time laying, you know, it's not unusual to see a branch hung up in the trees. That happens all the time. I'm not trying to say that's a Bigfoot. I'm just saying when you see a stick broke off on both ends, not a branch, and a lot of times it's laying in places that I don't even see how it could have fell and landed there. That seems unusual to me. See, like here's a branch in these bushes. Nothing unusual about that. That's pretty normal. Falls off a tree, lands in a bush. Yeah, it looks like it's just been deer back in here. I think I will put my app on. My hiking app. So I was thinking about going back over on the other side after I leave here. We'll see how long I spend over here first. So when I was over there, I camped over there at that abandoned camp. I noticed a trail I hadn't ever went down before. Not real long, but it's just an area I don't think I've really explored, so I'd like to get over there and look at it just like I just looked at this area. But I gotta get back here and swap out my cards. I just put the trail cam out, this is something I'll show you too real quick. I just showed you over there what I was calling a double arch, where those two trees are bent over each other. Well, there's another double arch right here, pretty close to it. Now I don't know if you'd call that a double arch right in there, but it kind of is. I don't know. And there was one over here somewhere. There's a single one, but there was a double one over here somewhere. I don't see it. See, right there's one there, and then a smaller one there. I mean, arches happen every time a tree falls, so not really unusual, but all right, I'll go back here, get these cards swapped out. Wally, what are you doing? What are you doing, Wally? Huh? He loves coming out here. Man, he loves it. I guess it's probably all the different smells. Smelling all the little critters. Guess that's why he likes it. I don't know. Plus he can just run around. I mean, we run around the yard. We got it fenced in, so he runs around all in the yard, but that's just not the same. Been windy the last couple days, so I don't have real high hopes for the recorder, because when it's windy, that's all you hear is wind. But usually, even when it's windy, once it gets nighttime, the wind usually calms down. So we'll see. I've walked this so many times. I think I'm going to just shut this off for now. Turn it back on if I find anything interesting. All right. I moved my recorder to a different spot. It should pick up this area here. I want to put one down here eventually. I'm going to order 2 more of those recorders, and I'm going to put one down here and one over on the other side of the creek. I've had one over there on the other side, over by where I camped, and never really picked up anything. I picked up a ton right in this, well, not right where I'm at now, but where I've had the recorder, I've picked up quite a bit. Pretty much every night there's something going around. Deer usually, other critters. That bobcat, if that's what it was, sounded like it was a little far away, so I'm guessing it was either down here or it may have been over on the other side of the creek. I've never really explored this area right here. I mean, I've been down here once, but I think only one time. So I think I'm going to come down here and look around a little bit. Something's been going up and down this hill. I'd say it's probably deer. Kind of not real steep, but I guess that's why I never came down here, because it's a pretty good hill. And the one time that I was down here, I didn't really see much. But that was a couple years ago, so I think I should go ahead and look around down here. Not too much of this area I haven't been in. At least once. A lot of deadfall down here, but that's not that unusual in a wooded area. I don't think too many people come down here though, that's for sure. Here's a little deer trail I'm following right here. I got this finally set where I can adjust it with the wheel like I'm supposed to, instead of using my finger on the actual camera head. It'd be nice to find a little structure down here. A lot going on right there. All in one spot. So far, all I'm seeing looks like deer have been down here, and that's about it. I see some disturbances in the leaves and the dirt. It looks to me like it's deer. Might as well walk over to the creek. Yeah, I would say deer have been coming down here to get a drink. A little easier to go up and down that hill I just did than the other one. That's real steep. Kind of, maybe you can see how steep that is over there. That's where that tree structure is over there. Oh, what's he barking at? I don't know. What are you barking at, Wally? You see something? Oh. Yeah. I think I just caught a glimpse of it, of a deer taking off over there. Yeah. Thought I saw its tail. He probably saw it across the creek. It took off when he barked. Yeah, you can see where the deer been coming down right there right down to the water. Well, it'd be nice to find a print. This is a pretty good sized creek. I mean, it's kind of almost like a river. Like I said, there's some big trees down here. That one right there where Wally's at is pretty good size. Both of them are. We're on the opposite side of the creek, but that big sycamore, that one of them is over in there, over in that area somewhere. Not real close to the creek, but walk over here and look a little bit. Probably pretty good fishing in this creek. I've never fished in it, even though it goes right by my property. I've never really fished in it. Just not fishing as much as I used to. Used to fish a lot. When I recorded that on that thermal that looked like a bobcat, that was down that way quite a ways. Yeah, I just don't see much sign of anything down here other than deer. See, there is it's a little, I guess it's a deer trail. When I come down that trail along the ridge, at the end of it, there's a bench. At the end of that trail, it's up here, and there's a little deer trail that comes off of it down to here. I've walked down here, followed it one time because I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it was a golden eagle that landed in a tree over here. So I came down that deer trail to try to get a picture of it with my phone, because that's all I had was my phone. And I did get a picture of it, but it wasn't a good picture. Still couldn't tell what it was. So now, I found out since then that was a juvenile bald eagle. It's all brown. I didn't realize it takes 5 years till they get their color. That's a pretty good sized tree right there. Little twin trunk. It takes 5 years before they get their colors, bald eagle. So that's what it was. It was a juvenile. Because after that, I started seeing them pretty regular here. I used to see them pretty much every time I would come here. I'd see them take off. They sat along this creek in these trees, and they'd take off whenever I'd come along here. But yeah, it's been a couple years. I haven't seen them in a long time now. Not sure where they're at. They've gone on and built a nest and probably got young ones of their own by now. Just don't know where the nest is. This is the time of year to be finding it, but I haven't spotted it yet. I could probably show you about 6 or 7 eagle nests within about 15 miles of my house. So really making a comeback, which is good. I've seen them fly over the house a couple times. That's why I put netting over my chicken run. We think it was the eagle that might have got our cat. I don't know. We had an outside cat, and I had a little house for him on our back deck, and my wife kept putting his food in there for him, and a raccoon ended up finding it. And after that raccoon got in there, he wouldn't go in that house no more. He always slept up on the roof. So we didn't want nothing to get him, like an eagle, sleeping up on that roof, because we do have great horned owls and barred owls. I don't know if a barred owl would get him or not, but great horned owls, and we have, like I said, I've had eagles fly over, so I built another house for him and put it on poles up in the air, about 10 foot up, and I put a little plank walkway from the roof over to the house, and he started sleeping in that, but then he just disappeared. I haven't seen him. It's been months now. I'm sure something got him. I don't know if it's coyotes or eagle or what, or an owl. He was a good cat, but he's gone now. There's not really much chance of finding prints along here. I mean, maybe in between some of the rocks if you got lucky, but might find some arrowheads. So you can find them along the banks. It's a pretty area though. Right over there, that's that inlet, that creek where it runs in. That in one of my videos I talk about where Wally got on a slab of ice and he slid off of it right into the creek. That was that creek over there, that inlet coming in. It goes back in there along close to the main trail. It goes through that area over there. I'm looking at that big, let's see, it's a big stick right there. Just hanging there on that limb. Trying to figure out how it got there. I don't know. I don't see what it broke off of. I don't know. Get it with my phone here. Let me get a quick video too. Show. I don't see where that came from. Alright, well, we'll walk down here a little more. Might as well explore this area all the way while I'm here. Might be having a couple friends come in March. I'm going to camp on my property and I'm going to give them the tour. Show them the big trees, show them the structures. So that up there is the ridge side, as I always call it, where that trail goes along that ridge. That's what it looks like at my house too. It's a pretty good bridge coming off behind my backyard there. I don't have much of a backyard because it becomes woods pretty quick right out my back door, and then it drops like that pretty steep down to an area where it levels out. Then I got a small creek there. Now I got a little bridge going across that, and then this creek, it levels out again. Well, on the other side of that bridge, it's wooded again, and then it's kind of open right before you get to the creek, this creek. Another one of those vertical limbs. Like I said, see a lot of stuff like that around here. But like I said, those are a lot easier to explain than the ones that are horizontal. I mean, like a plumb bob, they're naturally going to find themselves level, or fairly level, depending on how they land, but they're going to hang straight up and down. This would be a nice little area to camp in. There's a pretty good sized tree right there. Not as big as some of the other ones I found, but it's pretty big. You see it there with Wally. I mean, you go to Wayne National Forest, you'd be hard pressed to find a tree that big in the forest because it's all been deforested and replanted. This is an old growth area right here. All these trees are pretty good size, but some are huge. A lot of dead ones though. A lot of them are falling. There's something over there. I'm gonna have to see what that is. Something blue. If I can't see it. It's right there. Way over there. I'm gonna get over that way and see what it is. Yeah, I'd like to put a recorder down in this area and leave it. That's why I want to order 2 more. I see a ton of deer over here. Whenever I come late in the evening when it's almost dark, when I park on the other side and hike on what I call the bottom side, which is across the creek over there, it's all pretty flat over there. That's where it is. The dam is right there, and then the parking lot is down that way. And then that loop that's paved, I come along the dam there, and that loop is right over in there. And then that abandoned camp is over that direction, over that way some. Go over here and see what this is. Something blue. Where is it, Wally? There it is. Oh, it looks like a rain barrel, little plastic drum, like a 55-gallon drum, but it's plastic. That's what it is. Right there. More deer. Deer scat. There's a trail. That trail that goes along the ridge, or not the ridge, that small ravine. It comes out over here somewhere. So I'll probably follow that going back. But before I do that, now let's see what that blue thing was. I should have done that last. I want to get back over here and walk the rest of this creek bank before I head back. There's another one of those trees like I was talking about. Might be natural, but probably is. But that's like the fourth one now I've seen this like that. I mean, this one looks like it's not too good, not too healthy. So I'm sure it's probably natural. Yeah, it looks like it's not doing too good. That tree looks pretty diseased, rotted out. Kind of interesting looking though. Get back over here and walk the rest of this creek bank. I'm not really seeing much here, anything that stands out. Other than some good sized trees. That's why I want to walk back through here, see if there's any more big trees that I may not have found yet. I mean, that's a, wait a minute, where is it? That's a pretty good size one too. It's pretty big. But there's a lot of them that are that big. There's a ball. Let's see, right there. I don't know where that came from. Not even sure what kind of ball that is. Okay, there we go. It's very hard, almost like a croquet ball, but it's too small. I don't know. I don't know what that's from. I'll leave that somewhere. I'm not going to leave it down here because I don't want to have to come down here and check every time. I'll leave it somewhere where I go regularly and I can see if it's still there. There's a good place to look for prints. Kind of muddy right there. Go over here and take a look. There's not too many muddy spots along here. It's all gravel and rocks. Nope. Don't see none. Looks like maybe a raccoon. Deer. Sure would be nice to see a big old footprint. look over here for a second. See what's going on with this over here. All these piled up in one spot. That's probably from when it's flooded. When the creek's flooded, it's washed all them together. They wrapped around that tree. Alright, we'll just keep on walking along here. Another little muddy patch, but I don't see much there either. It's a little bit muddy right there. But most of it's like that area right there where it's all rocks, where Wally just went. It's all rocks. Not gonna find any prints there. Well, I know I've never been down here where I'm at now. It's another area where the deer go down right there. Little trail. Yeah, I've never been down in this area where I'm at right now. I don't know why, I just never have walked down here. I mean, not a whole lot to see. So I don't know when I'll come down this here again. But at least I checked it out. Coming up to, oh, there goes some deer over there. I don't know if you see them. See some tails taking off over there. Look like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, there's a lot of deer down here. And no hunting. Yeah, coming up on this no trespassing. I guess that's what that is. A couple signs up here. Oh, it might be, I think I have been over in this area because I remember seeing, I think these signs say something about the dam. Like if you were canoeing or kayaking down this creek to warn you that you're coming up on that dam, that spillway. I think that's what these signs are. I don't think, yeah, this isn't private property up here. Go up to the signs. So I have seen those signs. I don't remember if I was on that side or this side. But I do remember seeing them before. This dam is right over there. Work our way over to them signs. Hate to see big trees like this falling, but that's life. Kind of a rough spot to walk through. Good place to twist an ankle. Almost looks like a burial mound right there. Yeah, these signs are just to warn you about the dam. That you're coming up to the dam. Now this right here, right there, you probably can't tell on the camera. That's like a little sinkhole right there. And I remember seeing something about it. They're all around Mammoth Cave down in Kentucky. There's little sinkholes like that all over. And that's a sign that there's a cave when you see those. I remember there's one over by Hosaks over at Salt Fork. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Danger, dam ahead, turn around." Or, I think that's what it says. Wait, I didn't have it pointed. Right there, there's a sign. There's two of them. It says, "Danger, dam ahead, take out." I guess it means take your kayak out of the water or canoe. And then I don't know what the yellow one says. I can't see it from here. I'm gonna see if I can get a picture with my phone. Zoom in. Yeah. Okay. All right, now I've explored this, I guess. I'll work my way back, find that other trail that runs along the ravine. Work my way back to the car. I need to explore that area right there more along this creek. I haven't really spent too much. You can see it's pretty open from the main trail, at least right now it is. Not during the summer, but right now it's pretty open. You can see quite a ways back through there, so I've never really explored it because didn't see anything that really caught my interest. But a lot of times you got to be right up on it to see it. Easy to walk right by stuff. So I'm gonna work my way back, head to the house, see what I got on my trail cam, and then see what I got on the recorder. Probably nothing but wind, but we'll see. I had my trail cam set on photo, so I switched it to video. I think there's a tree creaking. Yeah. Wind's blowing that tree, making it creak. I need to post some audio from that last week when I was over at the abandoned camp so you can hear how windy it was. It was crazy. It's like 25-mile-an-hour gusts. I made sure I wasn't right under any big trees, but still, you can hear them creaking. Even a small one would not be fun to have fall on you while you're sleeping. Well, I didn't sleep real good because it's so windy and kept raining in the tent. Wasn't one of my better ideas. I should have had a better tent for that. I'm gonna have to invest in a good smaller size tent. The tent I normally use, I love it. It's big, it's roomy, it's got like a front porch. I really like it, but an area like that, when you're carrying everything in, there's not that much area to set up. I don't want to mess with that big tent. So I need to get me a smaller one. Maybe I can try some backpacking trips back to some remote areas. My big tent, I got a queen size air mattress that has it's inflatable and has a headboard. Inflatable headboard, so man, it's comfortable. It's like being at home, sleeping on that. I really like when you can just park right next to where you're camping. Like down in Kentucky, I parked facing my tent. Parked my van right up, pointing toward my tent, and I kept the key right next to me on the bed. In case a bear was to come around, I could hit the button on that key and it would blow the horn on the car. Well, I smell that. There's a buck droppings right there. From a buck. The deer leave the little pellets like a rabbit pellets, and then the bucks leave it in a big clump like that. Looks like it's a pretty good sized buck from that. Put my foot there so you can see how big it is. Okay. Anyway, I'd facing the tent. So I could hit the one button and it would beep the horn to lock it, or I hit the other button and it would turn on the headlights. So figure if a bear come around during the night, that's all I had to do and it would scare it off. There's another one. Looks like it's a pretty good sized buck. And then if that didn't work, I also had the panic button or whatever, car alarm thing. Hit that and make the lights flash and the horn beep constantly. And if that didn't work, I had a shotgun next to me too, so. See, this is This is a regular deer there. That's a regular deer. And buck these big clumps like that. It looks like that, but it's all like mushed together. So there you go. There's your tip for the day. That trail comes out over here, that one that runs along that ravine. Those trees there are pretty good size too. There's that one and that one. There's two like that over on the other side. I call them the twins because they're just like that. They're real big, except they're not different kind of tree. The bark's different, but anyway, they lean opposite directions away from each other. They're pretty big. See if I can get Wally over there by him. Starting to get warm now. That wind's letting up, and there's another one from a buck. Get a picture of that one. Alright, now you've seen this area. I guess I'm going to shut this off for now. Head back to the car and see what I got. Thanks for coming along. Alright, I'll make this a part 2. So it's not such a long video, but this is a trail I was saying that comes out. There's the dam down there. Right over there, and this runs along this ravine. I finally decided, after seeing this, it finally dawned on me that I think they cut out this ravine, took all this dirt out of here to make the dam. I think the dam was built in 1921, I think. So this ravine, it runs all down through here. And I think it's because they dug all this dirt out of here and used it to make the dam. So this trail runs along this ravine. And I've always thought in the summer that would, if there was anything back here, that they would hang out in this ravine during the day, because you can't see in it. From either side. From this side you can't see down in there because it's so thick, and then from the other side you can't see. If you're walking along that road, which is what most people do, they walk along that dam, the road there on top, because it's got a gate on both ends, so no traffic, and they walk their dogs down through there. So you can't see over here. It's honeysuckles like right here. You can see how thick they are, and when all those have leaves on them, it's the same on the other side. You can't see back in here, but there's little openings where if you were in here, if you were in that ravine looking out, you can see people going by, and you can see what's going on. A lot of times the videos, like where I've been putting out my recorder and checking the card and all that, swapping the card, is along this trail, but not this far back. This is a lot farther back. So that's why I thought I'd go ahead and video this, so trying to see this area too. There's another trail that comes from the ridge over there where that bench is at, and it comes down over there and ties into this trail. And actually there's like a gravel road, which I had a picture of. It goes up onto the dam, so you could come from that ravine and just go right up onto the dam and walk out that way. So there's another one of those sticks I was talking about, hanging horizontal in the tree. I tell you, I see them all the time. Right there. I see them so much it's ridiculous. I mean, if I just saw 2 or 3 of them, I wouldn't think much about it. But when you start seeing dozens of them, it's got to make you wonder. This gets pretty thick back through here in the summer. Hard to see back in there in the summer. That's why I've always thought in the winter, if there's anything around here, it would be down there where that abandoned campsite is, because that's all cedars and junipers back in there, pines. So it's got cover even in the winter. And then even the places where it's not got that, it's thicker than right here. You can't see real far right now here, even though it's no leaves hardly, but just so many of these little honeysuckles, they make it hard to see. I mean, some places open where you can see pretty good, but a lot of places you still can't see very far. Well, we're going to go down and check out the ravine. See anything down there, Wally? I need to train him. I need to train him to look for prints. So go down there and look, see if there's any prints, Wally. That's what I need to do. Here, woodpecker. I saw one at the house yesterday. I guess they hang out all winter.
get some more suet put in the feeders, bird feeders. I need to run over to the Shelby County Historical Society, see if they got any pictures of when they built this dam. Be interesting. I don't know what kind of machinery they would have had in 1921. So they didn't dig all this by hand. We got it pretty easy compared to how they had it back then. I like this area. It's a nice place to hike. I got at least something like this close to me. There is a nice little park about the same distance as this that runs along the Stillwater River, but there's tons of people there all the time, so I don't go there. Can't let Wally run like I do here. You know, I think they even have signs up saying to stay on the trails. Who wants to do that? And there's a spot down by Troy along the Miami River that's pretty nice, but same thing, there's a lot of people there. Can't have him off leash. I guess what I need to do is go down to Taylorsville Dam down by Dayton. I've never been there, never explored that area. That's all along the Miami River. That'd be a good spot to look at. Alright, this you've seen 100 times, so I guess that's the end of the tour for today.